Yo, it's your boy Casrell with the Silent A podcast. And man, we're back with another one and a quick one at that. Yo, hit that like button. It's free. Comment below if you got the time. Subscribe as always, man. We just jumped back over from our other live stream. We called the fight live for the likes of Brian Norman Jr. taking on Jin Sasaki, June 19, 2025. Man, we just got off that stream, jumped over to this one. Live talk early this morning, Juneteenth. Before we go any further, shout out to everybody. Happy Juneteenth. Freedom, celebration, peace, love, and happiness. And what better way to get this thing going for the likes of Brian Norman Jr. knocked out, vicious knocked out. As we called it live and direct commentaries. The fight was going on. 5th round, midway through, check left hook, a bad left hook. The definition of a bad left hook from the likes of Mr. Brian Norman Jr. Put the world on notice. And it was a scary knockout at that, as Mr. Jin Sasaki, as we was calling it live, and it got a little scary there, but they had to, carry him out on the stretcher, meaning Jin Sasaki. He did wave on his way out, so he seems like he's okay. But before we do go any further, prayers to him, his family, making sure that he is okay, speedy recovery. That's one thing we do not like to see in the sport of boxing, is someone to get seriously injured, seriously hurt, or even worse. So let's start there first with that. Salute to that man, though. He came out and fought, meaning Sasaki. He never backed down. That brother has heart, straight heart. And that is how you fight in the sport of boxing. That's what you do for your fight fans, especially when they all come out, especially over there. They all came out for the hometown champ, a hometown fighter. He put on a show. Yes, he got his ass whipped. Yes, he got dropped. Yes, he got knocked out. But what he gained tonight is more fans, more followers, because he came to fight and put on a show for the fans. He fought the best he could. Brian was just a better boxer. He fought in between the punches. He punched right through some of the things that Jin was trying to throw out there. Too many wide punches, loading up too much, as we already knew he was going to do. He throws with bad intentions. He comes to really just to knock you out, really comes just to fight, comes to scrap, right? And Brian knew that, and Brian knew to stay patient, and he boxed and punched through those punches. But Jin will be back. He'll be back. The entertainment value he provided tonight will get him more fights in the future. Let's just say that he'll get more fans. So salute to that warrior. Salute to that man. Now let's get to Brian Norman Jr. What he showed while we was calling it out live, right? He showed patience and willingness to fight. Patience and willingness to fight, willing to box and fight at the same time. Some fighters get stuck in the game plan, right? They just get stuck into boxing, trying to stick to this game plan, just trying to jab, stay on the outside, control the action, especially when you're the clear, better skilled fighter. But in this case, Brian Norman stepped it up a level and became what we already knew he was, really a boxer puncher. But more importantly, he showed that he's a fighter too, because he got near an exchange when he probably shouldn't have. He exchanged with Jin. He banged it out with Jin. They went power for power, blow for blow, tit for tat. And I got a little nervous at the time because Brian was getting caught, but he showed that he has a chin, he has a heart, and he wasn't scared to fight that kind of fight when he needed to. He backed out when it came time for it, regathered himself, and got back to his game plan, and then dived in and brought the fight back. That's a tough combination to have. That's a tough thing to think about too, because a lot of times some fighters try that and get knocked out because you end up fighting the lesser skilled fighters type of fight, especially when they got power like Jin Sasaki. But in the case of Brian Norman Jr., he was able to manage that the entire fight, like we was calling it. He fought when he needed to. He put on a show for the Japanese fans out there, banged it out, showed that he's a warrior, that he's got heart, and then backed out and showed the good display of boxing, showed that he is a skilled maestro, technician, guider in that ring, that he can control the ring, be the ring generalship in there, and put on a show both from skill set wise, from boxing, as well as a fight. This was a damn good fight for the morning. Over in the States, it was early, 4 a.m., you know what I'm saying? Depending on where you're at, 3 a.m. West Coast. And that's the kind of fight. If you don't get up in the morning and watch something, especially stateside, and even if it's late, late time over there in Japan, you don't want to come in for no boring fight, no scrap, just a point out victory. You want to see some hands getting thrown. And Brian Norman Jr., as we was calling it, man, I mean, he started with the hands. He started with the left hook. He started with that check left hook and finished it with the check left hook, putting Jin Sasaki down twice in round number one. Twice early, too. I think it was in the first minute of round number one. Jin Sasaki hit the ground twice. And it looked like it was going to be over in round number one, because obviously 3, usually it's done. But championship fight, they kind of waived that, right? But Jin hit the ground twice in round number one in the first minute. In the first minute. And then pressed on. The fight kept going, Then we got to round number 5. Ended with what? Another check left hook. Shout out to Brian, man. Entertaining fight. Good fight. This is what you want to wake up to. This is the kind of news, especially for Juneteenth. No disrespect, but for Juneteenth, we got to get that kind of victory, right? Got to. It's a holiday. People waking up. People get going. They want to see some hands get thrown. They want to see boxing and violence. That's all you want to see. Boxing, violence, hands getting thrown, and that's what we saw, man. Salute to them men. Salute to them warriors. Both showed out. Don't throw Mr. Jin Sasaki away. Yes, he got knocked out. It was a vicious knockout. He seems like he's okay. We're going to check the telecast here shortly to make sure he is doing all right. We don't want to see that kind of issue. But either way, before we go any further, hit that like button. It's free, man. It helps us get eyes on the show. We're rocking out early this morning. We really appreciate that love. Helps us continue to grow, especially this early morning, Juneteenth 2025. Man, we appreciate that love, that support. And more importantly, if you got time, subscribe. We appreciate that love. Got plenty of videos, plenty of breakdowns, plenty of live commentary, plenty of chats. We've got live arena shots. Obviously, we was out there for Keyshawn. Well, it wasn't even Keyshawn Davis no more, but Abdullah Mason's fight. Live, got arena shots, backgrounds, everything, you name it. And we're pressing forward for 2025, man. But anyways, back to it. What's the next steps for Mr. Brian Norman Jr.? Getting a knockout like this, potential knockout of the year candidate. Let's be honest now. It was that nasty. This reminds me of when Caleb Sweet Hands Plant knocked out the likes of Darrell. Remember when he caught that was actually a left hook too, when he dug to the body, that double left he had, one to the body and came back up when Darrell wasn't expecting it while they were exchanging. You remember that knockout, how vicious that was? That's how this knockout, if you didn't get to see it, that's how this knockout tonight for Brian Norman Jr. did to likes of Jin Sasaki. It was nasty. And probably a little worse than Darrell, because at least Darrell got up after that one a little bit, but Sasaki had to get carried out. Had to get carried out tonight, and it is what it is. Brian's on deck. Now that, I'm still, it's bittersweet, right? Jerron Boots Ennis, obviously, everybody knows now, right? If you don't know, Jerron Boots Ennis has officially moved up to the 154-pound division. What's going on with that? Officially moved up to the 154-pound division. We all wanted to see the Ennis Norman fight. It would have been preferred it been today. Come on, Juneteenth, them two brothers getting on East Coast fight, U.S. stateside, no matter where you had it, Atlanta, Philly, New York, neutral ground, D.C., Baltimore, in any of those spots. Pick the East Coast, any of those spots, especially that type of mecca spots for African Americans. That would have been a damn good fight for Juneteenth 2025. But we are here. We're at. All right. There's plenty of blame to go around on both sides. Ennis is now 154. Norman clearly the 147 now favorite, headliner, champ, you name it. What's the next steps? Marius Barrios and Manny Pacquiao obviously got their thing going on July 19, 2025. It's clear that PBC does not want anything to do with Mr. Brian Norman Jr. at this time because, personal opinion, Barrios was available, been available. They could have been made that fight with Barrios. I don't think they want to exchange with the likes of Brian Norman Jr., obviously, who's underneath Top Rank. So there's always that back and forth issue. And get it or not, Top Rank ends. I'm sorry, not Top Rank. Top Rank's deal with ESPN ends next month, y'all. July is already here. End of July, it's over with. ESPN Plus, ESPN, it's done. They got to find a home. They still haven't announced it. Rumor has it they are going to go over to DAZN, which it's not bad. I mean, that's where everybody's going now anyways. The fights are going. I like to still mix it up. There needs to be some other – I hate a monopoly because then it gets out of control with a monopoly. You want to make sure some checks and balances is there. I would prefer Top Rank to go over to mess with PBC. They do business maybe with Netflix. I'm not a big fan of Amazon Prime like that. But anyways, Brian Noma Jr., he's got options, right? I mean, maybe he gets the Barrios Pacquiao winner. They're fighting July 19th. They rest, and we get a fight at the end of this year for unification. Now, obviously, many people would probably prefer Pacquiao to beat Barrios. And then you get then you get a Pacquiao and Brian Noma Jr. unification later this year. Big for the welterweight division. There's not a lot of names there. There are a few moving up. That would not be a bad scrap for Brian. Nasty fight for Pacquiao, but a good fight for Brian to grow that brand. Outside of that, there's obviously Devin the Dream Haney. And if you've been watching some of the news that's been coming out, especially you've seen Bill Haney, did his interview recently with the likes of the Boxing Voice, and actually was on Showbizz, I believe, yesterday. Totally different from what him and Showbiz have going on. Their little beef back and forth. But Devin and Bill said they will fight Brian Noma Jr. and give him a payday. They said they'll fight. And shout out to Devin Haney and Bill Haney. I mean, they don't duck no smoke now. They're quick to sign a contract. Now, how the fight will look, up in the air, but they're quick to sign a contract, quick to get them hands throwing. That may be the next best option for Brian. Maybe the most realistic option of somebody who's going to sign the fight. I believe October timeframe is what rumor has. That could be something, right? Turn that down. That could definitely be something in line for him to keep growing his brand, keep growing him in the sport. Obviously, just finished off Jin Sasaki, who was surprisingly ranked number 3 or so in the division. Then there's Rolly. Somehow Rolly Romero is officially in the 147-pound division, ranked at that. Even just that one fight with Ryan Garcia. To be frankly honest, that would be a good fight. Does not need to be pay-per-view, but Rolly and Brian, that'll be entertaining back and forth. A lot of talking between both camps. That would be an interesting fight. Rolly comes to fight. Either he's trying to knock you out or he's getting knocked out, one or the other. He did show he has some boxing IQ with the likes of the Ryan Garcia fight, but I can't write too much home about that because him and Ryan already knew each other like that. Plenty of sparring sessions and back and forth. And then there's obviously Ryan Garcia himself. Doubt that fight happens, especially after how Ryan looked in the last fight. But this is boxing. Names get thrown out there. If you got a name and you're a star of some sort, you'll jump the line. Happens all the damn time. So I won't be surprised if they try to recycle that. But to be frankly honest, personal opinion, October timeframe fight for Brian Noma Jr. It'll probably prefer to be the Manny Pacquiao Barrios winner, right? Obviously. That would be the sexier fight. That would be the bigger fight. Obviously, that would probably be the pay-per-view fight, depending on who carried it. And then the next option is Devin Haney. And that could be an Atlanta fight. Wouldn't mind that, actually. I wouldn't mind going all out to Atlanta. Check that out. That would be a good fanfare. And keep his name going, right? I mean, we're trying to keep the brother's name going because this kind of knockout tonight, even though, a lot of people didn't know Jin Sasaki, once they watch the fight and it goes back, once the replays and the highlights come out, and you see how Brian knocked him out, how he fought that entire fight, that's what you want to see. That's the kind of fighter you want to see. No pity patting, no nothing. Let them hands get thrown. And box smart, like he combined. It was a perfect combination of fighting tonight. Hit that like button, is free. Hit that like button, is free. And more importantly, subscribe if you got the time, man. We're rocking out early this morning with y'all. We appreciate that love and support, man. We're going quick and fast. Small channel, man, trying to grow, man. Hit that like button. It's free, and always comment below and subscribe, man. What do you think the next move should be for Brian Norman Jr. after this kind of fight? And were you impressed with what happened, or impressed what we broke down for the fight of how it went? Check left hook, knocked him out clean, should be knockout of the year contender or candidate. And then more importantly, what's the next move for Mr. Bryant? Should he take on the Barrios Pacquiao winner? Should he take on the likes of Devin the Dream Haney? Big name, big fight that could happen in Atlanta. And then obviously there's some other contenders out there, because you got the likes of Stanionis is still around. Saski, who was between ranked 3 and 7. Obviously, he's going to fall out of top contender status, just got finished up. Rolando Romero. And that's it, man. There's no really other big names just out there that's just sexy in the welterweight division, 147 pounds. Not like it used to be. 147 pounds used to carry the sport of boxing along with heavyweight, right? Heavyweight always has been the carrier of the sport. But let's be honest. Welterweight division was right there, especially when Floyd was around. When Floyd was around, and even post-Floyd, people riding off that wave, people moving, different fights getting made. I mean, every single name you could think of was being made. Every type of fight was being made at the welterweight division. And to see it in this kind of state right now, you need somebody to help build it back up. It was supposed to be Jerome Butenis, obviously moving up to 154 pounds. And to be honest, the 154 pounds division, that middleweight division, it might be the new welterweight vision of our era right now. Because there's some names there. Boots Ennis, Virgil Ortiz, Madrimal's still there, Fedora, Lubin got his way back in there. If Spence can get himself back together, I'm pretty sure he'll end up at the 154-pound division. Jermell Charlo's trying to come back. He's up in there. I mean, there are some names in the 154-pound division, to be honest with you. The other option we didn't even say for Mr. Brian Norman Jr. is this. Does he have the size to move up to 154? Does he have the size to go compete at 154 and go chase Boots Ennis? Go chase Jerron. Go chase that man. Go chase that warrior. Go get it on. Does he have that size? I'm not sure. He looks like he's perfect size for 147, to be frankly honest with you. His power is decent there. But if you want to be remembered, if you ever watched the movie Troy, and the famous line from there, as Achilles looked down at that kid, man. He told him, the kid, obviously asked him, you're brave or whatever. I couldn't do what you do, blah, blah, blah. Paraphrasing. Achilles looked down at him and said, that's why no one ever remember your name. No one would ever remember your name if you don't get up and challenge yourself. No one will remember your name if you don't bring the right fights. No one will remember your name if you just live scared, especially in the sport of boxing. No one's going to remember you. No one is going to care once the years pass by. Do you know why Ali, Foreman, even Floyd, Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, Ernie Shavers, these kind of names, Sweet Pea, these kind of names, these kind of warriors get their name remembered throughout time? It's because they never back down. A Vander Holyfield type, never back down. These men brought fights at any given time. Not that they just jumped at any fight. When they jumped at the fight, they came and brought a real fight and a real war to the sport of boxing and put eyes on that. That's why their names will always be remembered. Again, Troy, Achilles, looking at the kid. That's why no one remember your name. Your name's got to be remembered if you bring the fight. Don't be scared. Fight smart. Improve your skill set as you go and challenge yourself. Win, lose, or draw. And that's where boxing's got to get to today. That's the state of boxing. We got to stop throwing fighters away because of loss and all that. Floyd days are done. All that's done. And shout out to Floyd because he is a warrior. His name will be remembered because he did take on the fights, especially when he was Pretty Boy Floyd. Challenge yourself and get your name remembered. And I think that's what Mr. Brian Norman Jr.'s next steps got to be regardless. Tonight, traveling over to Japan, doing the things that he did. Knocking a man out like that, knockout of the year contender, a fighter who came to, scrap, make it ugly, has good power, and you fought his kind of fight and fought yours at the same time, mix it in beautifully, that was something beautiful to watch for the sport of boxing. Now the next step is this. How do we get Brian Norman Jr.'s name remembered? June 19th, 2025, Juneteenth, he has arrived. Nice knockout over in Japan. How do we get this brother's name remembered? How do we keep pushing him forward for the sport of boxing? How we keep growing either the welterweight division or let's keep exploding this 154-pound division. If he wants his name remembered, I think it's obviously take on the likes of Manny Pacquiao, Barrios. He beats either one of them, and then hopefully get a unification with the likes of whatever belts left out there, right? Obviously, Boots dropped his. I forgot who they mandated, but another good challenge. And this is a big challenge, as we just brought up. Chase Boots, go up to 154. Get your scrap up there, introductory fight at 154. Call out Boots there and say you still ducking him. Or say that he's still ducking you. My bad. Now, I don't think Boots is ducking anybody. Boots, as we said months ago, after his last fight, and we went back and forth with people, Boots was too big for 147. You could see it in his face. And even people argue this day, oh, he ain't say he's going to move up, blah, blah, blah. That brother, come on now. The eyes never lie. The weight never lies. The way a person walks and moves never lies. And it came off the lips of Jerron and his daddy. They couldn't make that weight too big. And then look at him now on IG as he announced he's fishing 154 pounds. If you haven't heard, Jerron Bootin is 154 pounds. It's on his IG. We'll be doing a breakdown later this weekend of what this means for him, what's his next fight. Brother was too big. Too big. Stayed a little too long at 147, to be honest. Brian Norman Jr., I think 147 is the perfect weight for him, but he can probably get up to 154, especially this kind of performance. Boxing smart, established jab. That left hook is something vicious because he knocked out Buddy in the last fight. Similar, not similar fashion as far as how the brother went out, but he hooked him out as well. Nice hook to the body. Rocked him. Yeah, he's got some pop. He got some power. Again, he's at welterweight right now, 147. Let's focus on that. Let's get the fights for him. I think it's Marius Barrios or Devin Dream Haney. I'm sorry, Marius Barrios Pacquiao winner and Devin the Dream Haney. That's the only way he can go. Top Rank's done with ESPN in July. Next fight's got to be on either DAZN or Amazon Prime or with Netflix. PBC does business with all of them. They send independent contractors all the time. Barrios just fought over on Riyadh, DAZN, Jake Paul. Ain't no reason we can't get that business done. Let's clean up the 147-pound division, unify. This kind of performance will get his name remembered, built, signed, sealed, delivered, then move up maybe to 154 pounds. I'm also open to a Devin Dream Haney fight. Again, they were on Showbizz, Showbizz Adult, shout out to him. They were on Showbizz Adult yesterday, meaning Bill Haney, going back and forth, obviously with the no running rule. We're going to do a breakdown on that probably tomorrow. And some explanations what happened in that interview, and more importantly, breaking down Showbizz's rule or the no running rule. It's not Showbizz's rule, but and then obviously they were on the Boxing Voice and they called out the likes of Brian Norman Jr. They say they will give him a fight, give him a payday. Can that fight happen? Haney says their contracted date now is October. They're open for October fight. That's what they're working to. It was supposed to be Teofimo Lopez, got pushed obviously early to August, but now that fell through, Teofimo Lopez self-destructing himself, Brian is available. What's this, June? That's 4.5 months out. Or 3.5 months, I'm sorry, out. Get you some rest. Start training camp about mid-August. Ain't no reason that fight can't happen. Devin the Dream Haney, Brian Norman Jr. had to fight in Atlanta. Atlanta, DC, or Baltimore. That's the only areas I would like to see it is. Please don't take it to the West Coast. They got too many fans out east. West Coast, and I say West Coast, meaning Cali. Obviously, Vegas is where everybody likes to go. But Brian's fan base is on the east. Ain't no reason you can't have that championship fight over there. The people will show up for that. They'll show up for that kind of fight. In style, too. There's no better style than the East Coast, especially Southeast. Style and profile, and the cars will come out, the rims come out, you name it. every type of fanfare. If you've never been to an East Coast fight, telling you, it's something to see. It's fun. It's interesting. The culture is out there. Anyways, before we go any further, man, hit that like button. It's free. Helps us get eyes on the show. Helps us continue to grow, man. We're a small channel, growing quick and going fast. Appreciate that love. Subscribe if you got time, man. Check out our videos. We got plenty of breakdowns, key talk victories. We got 3-minute fight drills, 3-minute fight breakdowns of every fight that comes up, major fights anyways, live talks, live breakdowns, live commentary like we did earlier this morning for the likes of Brian Norman Jr., Jin Sasaki. Man, we appreciate that love. Really appreciate that support. We're just rocking out, man. We like doing this. It's a hobby for us and like to continue to grow. Like to continue to grow, man. Make this thing keep popping. And we also go to the live events as well, to the fights themselves, and give you behind the scenes action. So we just got that started. First one was actually the Abdullah Mason headline card over in Norfolk, which was supposed to be Keyshawn Davis. Check those videos out, man. We had fun. And we hope to continue to perfect and grow. And we appreciate that love, man. Comment below. Let us know, what do you think the next move for the likes of Brian Norman Jr. should be? How do we get his name, more importantly, remembered in the sport of boxing? Like, what type of fights can we get from him? He's obviously a fighter. He's obviously a warrior. He went over to Japan. Very few U.S. fighters travel out, especially U.S. champions. Let's get that right. In this day and age, now they used to do it all the time. U.S. fighters all the time used to travel across the world, from Africa, Japan, Middle East, definitely over the U.K., even sometimes in Australia, and fight. Because you're what? World champion. It's a world sport, worldwide sport. So this brother right here, this champion right here, has already shown that he's willing to travel, willing to move around. How do we get him remembered? What type of fights can we get him in to keep his name growing in the sport of boxing? We threw out the obvious options: Devin the Dream Haney, Morris Barrios, Pacquiao. All those are U.S.-based type fights. As far as welterweight divisions that we already went through, it's pretty low. Low in talent, low in name. Stanley Owens is still there. Obviously just got beat by the likes of Boots in this, but maybe even 154 is the best move as far as international growth. Yeah, it might be the best move for international growth. Who knows? Anyways, Brian, he's got options. Let's just hope it makes it right. For the fight that we saw tonight, and if you're just tuning in, obviously Brian Norman Jr. knocked out the likes of Jin Sasaki, round number 5, midway through. We called it live. Go check out our live reaction on that. Vicious knockout, check left hook, showed his precision, showed his power. But more importantly tonight, what he showed us, he is willing to fight. He is willing to scrap. He is willing to put on a show for the fight fans. Round number 1, 2 knockdowns straight out the gate. First minute, the fight looked like it was going to be called. If Jin went down again, he was looking wobbly. And the reason we're bringing this part up is focusing on why he was looking wobbly the first minute of the first round of the fight. He made it to round 5, which shows the heart of Jin Sasaki. He fought. He has heart. And that's a message to all the fighters out there, especially B-level fighters, C-level fighters, those who are trying to get their name brought up and known. You fight with heart, man. You don't come in there to survive. You don't come in there just trying to make it to the 12th and final round for the championship fight, 10th round, you name it, 6th round, whatever the fight round ends at. You don't just come to make it. You come to win. At no given time in that fight did you ever think Jin Sasaki gave up. He came to win. He came to fight. He didn't come to roll over. He wanted that belt. He wanted that championship. But Brian Norman Jr., the champion that he is, showed he's got levels, showed the skill set gap, showed that he is the better fighter, better warrior, and more importantly, let's show what Brian Norman Jr. displayed to the world as a champion. You don't just come in there riding off your skill set. Even though he knew he had the better skill set, he could have just jabbed, boxed, moved around all night and made this a boring fight, 12 round all the way through. But what he did was showed his skill set, showed his boxing IQ, and then showed that he also can fight and can scrap. And that's how he got this man up out of there. He started the first round off heavy. When he caught him, left hook, he smelled blood in the water and pressed him. You got some champions out here, fighters will play it too safe. Brian didn't care. He came out to fight himself. Showed that he's a warrior, showed that he's a champion, got that 5th round knockout. That's how it happened. Not too many fighters in this day, especially champions traveling overseas, would have did what he did tonight, especially took some of the risks that he did because he got caught tonight. Brian got a little chin up on him. He got caught. Jin caught him a few times throughout this fight. It was a damn good fight. I'm going to go, when it's available for replay, we're going to do another walkthrough of it because it was actually exciting. Even though there was a clear gap in skills, it was a fight. And a fight that any given moment, you thought there could have been an upset knockdown or something because Jin was throwing with bad intentions the entire fight, never gave up. And it's actually it's what got him caught. But it was interesting. It was good. It was value. That's how you want to get up. That's how you want to watch. That's, as boxing fans, especially with this week being a little bit lower in headline fights. Obviously, we got the likes of what's next week's going to be busy. We got the Jake Paul fight, Julio Cesar Chavez. You've got, one of my faves, Tevin Farmer, taking on the likes of Floyd Schofield. We're going to see how that fight goes. That's good. Good big time next week. That should be a good scrap. Tevin might be the older gentleman in that fight, but he's a warrior. He comes to fight. He comes to scrap. He ain't got no power, but that man swings like he's Ernie Shaver, swings like he's got Mike Tyson power. He will stay in the pocket and fight with you. He's a good fighter and entertaining value. And that's how you keep getting fights. That's how he keeps getting fights. Tevin keeps getting fights, even with the losses. Why? Because he comes to fight, puts on a show. You got Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder next week, June 27th, out in Wichita, Kansas. So next week's busy, but this week for you to bring this kind of fight, that's good because there's not too many other big fights this week. I think the UK got something going on, but focusing back on Brian, good way to bring in Juneteenth. Good way to set up fights for next week. Good way to keep June rolling. You know what I'm saying? We had some good fights with the past couple of weeks. You know, Richard Hitchens did his thing against Kambosos last weekend. That was a good fight. We saw the likes of Ja Battaglia, Claudio, another vicious fighter himself, me and Ja Battaglia, snapped the jaw Claudio down in Australia. Keeping the business of boxing growing. This is how you do it. Let us know what you think, man. Hit that like button. It's free. Comment below if you got the time. Let us know what you think. What's the next move for Mr. Brian Norman Jr.? We're going to dive off into some other topics here shortly with the likes of, obviously we brought up Tevin Farmer, Floyd Schofield, right? Subscribe if you got the time, man. Appreciate that love. We're going quick and going fast. We appreciate all the love and support. Happy Juneteenth to all those out there. Peace, love, happiness, freedom, man. Keep saluting, keep supporting. Appreciate everything out there. Floyd Schofield, Tevin Farmer. That should be a good scrap. I think it's going to look very something similar. No, let me say that. It's going to show characteristics of what we just saw from Brian Norman and Jin Sasaki, right? I think the boxing skill set rests with Tevin Farmer. Power, youth, age, movement obviously relies with the likes of Floyd Schofield. Now, if Floyd Schofield can show up to the fight this time, we might see another great fight like we just saw tonight with the likes of Brian Norman Jr. and Jin Sasaki, where hands get thrown and the better fighter just wins. That's going to be a good fight next week on the undercard, right? Floyd and Tevin challenging themselves. Tevin obviously challenging himself. He had a fight earlier this year with the likes of Zepeda. Showed that he's a fighter, showed that he's a warrior. He did lose that one. I think he let some of them early rounds go too far. But he comes to fight. He comes to scrap, man. The boy from Philly, he's a real one, a good boxer, good fighter, good warrior. And that boxing IQ is there. And then Floyd, when he shows up to the fight, comes to fight. I think he's going to try to muscle him. I think we're going to see a very similar flow, very similar flavor next week with the likes of Tevin Farmer and Kid Austin. Not in the same factor of seeing a knockout like we saw tonight, a vicious check left hook knockout from the likes of Brian Norman Jr. against Jin Sasaki. Not that 5th round. No, I think it go all the way. unless there's, a clean cut shot like that. But I don't see either man get knocked out. But I think we see a war. I think we see both of them grow themselves in the 135-pound division. I think we see both of these men put on a good display of boxing and pressure and fighting. Neither one of them are scared. Neither one of them back down. I think that'll be a good display, a good show, good fight, good war, good back and forth. I favor, it's probably 55, 55-45 doing math earlier this morning. Favor of Floyd Schofield, mainly because of the youth, age, power. Tevin just doesn't have that pop, man. But he can definitely win boxing smart, boxing well, and boxing in volume. Don't let some of them things happen to him that Zepeda did to him, stealing some of those rounds with volume and body punches. If he's smart, volume, out punch, swim without getting wet, use his head movement. That actually pissed me off during that fight. He moves way better than that. He was getting caught a little bit too clean by Zepeda. But I see a good fight. I see a good war. June 27, 2025, I see Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder coming back against the likes of Herndon, Wichita, Kansas. I hope my brother's back. I hope he's back. I hope he's focused. I hope he's ready to drop that bomb squad. I hope he watched the fight tonight. I hope he saw what the likes of Brian Norman Jr. did. I hope he understood this is how you truly fight. You can box, but always stick to that fighting spirit, that fighting warrior, and put on a show for your fans. Don't prance around too long. Don't outthink it too long. Yes, box smart, but let that hand fly. Let your hands go. Believe in yourself. Stay defensively sound, but believe in yourself. Man, I really hope that brother's back and focused because he was exciting for the heavyweight division. That bomb squad, Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, man, we've been to plenty of his fights, just about all of them. And I just don't like where he just seems unfocused sometimes. And I know his personal life, he's got things going on there. We're not going to get into it, but he's got some issues with his brother. Obviously, issues with his ex-fiance. She's gone. I just hope that all that's cleared up. He's taking care of himself. He's mentally here, focused, not just here for a check. Because even though Mr. Herndon technically shouldn't be on the level of Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, this is the kind of fight that can end your career if you're not focused. Because Herndon's probably going to come in hungry. He wants his name to know. He wants to be remembered. He wants that check too. He wants another fight. If you come in at the wrong time, brother, good night. Hopefully he's focused and hopefully he's back to the bomb squad, back to the Bronze Bomber. Then we got Gilberto Ramirez next week. I believe my man's name is Doctorius. I can never say his name right, but he's been around for a while, cruiserweight division. Hopefully after Gilberto Ramirez, I got him winning clear favorite, 70-30, probably 75-25 favorite. We finally get that Jao Pataya fight. That needs to happen later this fall. Got to happen. Needs to happen. Unification. Yes, I know Badu Jack is still around. Salute to that man. Salute to that warrior, true fighter. He always puts on the show. Turkey Ali Sheik mess with him. Both the Muslim faith. But the real fight there at the cruiserweight division, to me, undisputed in this case, even though it's just unification, is Ja and Gilberto. So hopefully we get that fight after Jake Paul, and then obviously there's Jake Paul next week. He should be Julio Cesar Chavez. I don't know why any of us don't remember, what's my man, the Spider from is it Silva? Anderson Silva from the UFC. Him and Julio Cesar Chavez fought 2 years ago or so? Silva beat Chavez. Jake beat Silva with a late knockdown, and Jake's only gotten better. I know a lot of people clown him as a YouTuber, but the brother's gotten better. He'll knock me out for sure. Not even being funny. I mean, he's gotten a lot better. So in the last 2 years, he's gotten that much better. And Julio Cesar Chavez pretty much stays stagnant, bro. He's just a name. I'm not sure how he still gets these kind of fights, but I'm not really interested in it. It will be at least a good fight, another boxer, true boxer for the likes of Jake to take on, but it is what it is. Anyways, those are the events that's coming up, obviously, in the next couple of weeks. Shout out to Brian, though, for kicking off the rest of this June and kicking off June 19th the right way. Vicious knockout, 5th round. Check left hook. Definition of check left hook. Bad left hook at that. Dropped Jin Sasaki early in them rounds. If you're just tuning in, man, fight's clearly over, but Brian won with a knockout, check left hook, bad left hook, 5th round, 2 knockdowns in round number 1. It was a good fight, good scrap. Yes, Jin got knocked out, but it was a good fight, very entertaining fight. And more importantly, Brian Norman Jr. showed his level, showed his boxing IQ, and showed his power, and showed that he's got heart and he's got a chin and he can fight. There's really not too much more we can say on that, man. It's interesting in where he is. I like where he is. I like what he's doing. Hopefully we can continue to grow him in the welterweight division or move him up to the 154-pound division. That is an option. Let's not forget that. That is an option. Let's go ahead and get the Boots fight. There's no reason he can't move up. I mean, obviously weight is a factor. And Brian Norman Jr. fits very well at the 147-pound division. He doesn't look like he's weight drained or sucked down. The power looks good. But let's be honest, to get your name, remember the bigger fights right now is that 154-pound division. As we went over earlier, you got Virgil Ortiz, Boots in, Jermell Charlo's back, Sebastian Fondura, Tim Tszyu, Muratarev. You've got, Lubin is still around there knocking heads off. Still willing to fight. Obviously, we just said Boots is there. 154-pound looking dangerous. If Errol Spence comes back. Imagine if Errol Spence comes back. Obviously, I think he'll go 154 pounds. But maybe he comes to 147, gets him another scrap, introductory fight, and then moves up to 154 pounds. Either way, the world is open to Brian Norman Jr. I just hope that they take it, seize it, especially on this type of showing, this type of knockout, and it catapults him into a big fight that he should get and should, obviously deserve after this. Pacquiao Barrios, July 19, 2025. I still don't agree with the fight. Pacquiao did some jumping. Barrios is open champion, free champion at that time, was available. I think that him in the unification fight between either Boots or Brian was on the table, and PBC nasty work threw Pacquiao in there, but we all get it. He's a legend. I'm not sure how that fight's going to look as we get closer. We'll do our 3-minute fight drills, 3-minute fight breakdowns, but we're bringing that up because that is an option for Brian Norman Jr. I think he seriously hurts either one of them. At this point, this kind of showing that we saw tonight, Brian seriously hurts either Barrios or Pacquiao, either winner, viciously. Power is real. Skill set's real. His hook is real. Like, I know he's been developing that, him and his father, Bozy. I said Bozy. Him and his father, Mr. I can't believe I said that. Him and his father, Mr. Newman, have been working on that hook. Said that's something they've been wanting to show over the last couple of fights. And they've been showing it. 2 knockouts back-to-back, 2 stoppages back-to-back via hooks. Check left hook tonight for this one. Yeah, he hurts him. He hurts him bad. He hurts either Barrios or Pacquiao bad, man. But it'll be a good fight. It'll be something to get his name catapulted, especially if it's Pacquiao, legend, feed off that name. You know how it goes. Sorry about that. Yeah, feed off that name, keeps his name going, keep his name pumping, especially if he can knock him out. Everybody remember the pull hook that Marquez pulled on Pacquiao, had him sleep? No one wants to see that for Pacquiao. He's a legend, a warrior. That's why I'm really against him coming out. I don't want to see Pacquiao get hurt, man. But he's a fighter. He's a real one. You step in that ring, I think he knows what he's doing. He's a legend. If he is going to get back in there, well, he is getting back in there with Barrios. I don't want to see the Pacquiao where he's just trading blows. Yes, that's exciting. I want to see him fight in spurts, fight smart, steal rounds, fight smart. Take a page out of Floyd's book. Fight, but fight smart. Fight in spurts. Take care of yourself, brother. and manage the defense. But anyways, back to the topic. Yeah, Norman, if he fights either him, Pacquiao, or Barrios winner, I think he hurts both. Um, Youth, age factor, you name it. It's there. That hook is there. The power is real. Um, Now, Pacquiao of old, different story. Pull Pacquiao from 6, 7 years ago. That's a whole nother story. I think then Pacquiao cleans up the entire. He'll be undisputed welterweight champion in today's time. Obviously, without Floyd being there. As I think more about it, I really want to see the Devin fight. Yeah. Devin Haney, Brian Noma Jr., or Rolly. If we want to make it a circus, put Rolly in. He's always going to talk his talk. We just got to make sure Brian keeps continuing to grow. Salute to that man. Salute to that warrior, man. It's Juneteenth. We started off the right way with some good boxing on a Thursday at that. Salute to Brian Noma Jr. for putting on the show, man. If you're just tuning in again, 5th round stoppage, nasty, knockout of the year contender. We'll do a breakdown later once they release the video and show you exactly how he set that thing up and how he executed his plan with precision and stepped out of his plan. Because you could see a couple of times throughout the fight, Brian ignored the instructions, ignored the game plan, because he wasn't supposed to be in there trading with the likes of Jin Sasaki. But he did, because the true nature of him came out. He's a fighter, warrior, champion. He wasn't backing down. And that part was clear. He walked in there, did what he had to do, and executed with precision. Salute to that man. Salute to that warrior. Shout out to Brian Noma Jr. Man, if you got time, hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty of content, plenty of videos. What else y'all want to talk about? We've covered out a lot. Mr. Orca, yeah, Norman versus Rolly. I can see that. It'll be a, like I said, it'll be a circus. The build-up. Imagine the build-up. Rolly, Romero. You know what? What y'all want to do? Yeah, we got a poll. I used to have a poll. There we go. We're going to do this. Should Brian fight Devin the Dream Haney or Rolly Romero? Devin Haney or Rolly Romero? Let's get this going. We're going to get it going. Yeah, let's get this going. Rolly Romero, Devin Haney. I can't spell Pacquiao always, so I'm just going to put Pac-Man. Yeah. We just going to put Pac-Man. Who y'all got? Who should he fight next? Oh, shit, I didn't put the question up there. All right. Back to the program. Brian Norman Jr., man. He's got options. Like we said, hit the poll, hit the chat. Hit the poll, hit the chat. Hit the poll, hit the chat. Devin Haney, Rolly Romero, or the winner of Barrios Pacquiao. I favor, the bigger fight, bigger pay-per-view fight is obviously the likes of if Pac-Man beats Barrios. Who's getting bigger than Pac-Man, right? By name. But let's be real. Real fight, real entertaining fight, real entertaining scrap. I know Rolly, it's got to be Rolly. Rolly's action-packed. Rolly comes to fight. Rolly's he's either throwing hands, either he's doing the punching or he's getting punched. And that's what we want to see in the sport of boxing. I think that would help Norman's name. It won't be as highly respected, only because Rolly just got to 147 and has already been beaten by the likes of Gervonta, Tank Davis, and so forth. And took in some other hard losses and actually got a controversial victory on his way up. But he just beat Ryan Garcia in fashion on the Riyadh season card in May. Everybody knows Rolly. He's a character. He's going to bring eyes to you. He's going to bring, what's on my face? He's going to bring eyes to you. He's going to bring casuals to you. And as I think more about it, that's what he needs. I think Norman needs more casuals to know him. He needs more casuals to tune into him. He needs more casuals to know who he is, see his fights, and watch the fight that he did tonight. Go back and watch this Jin Sasaki fight when they see his name attached to Rolly Romero. Imagine playing the clips of this and then the check left hook that he just did to Jin Sasaki, mash that up with the knockout counter hook from the likes of Gervonta Tank Davis that he put on Rolly Romero. Imagine the advertisement, them clipping that back and forth but on the build-up to that fight. Can Brian Norman Jr. do it better than Tank Davis? Can Brian Norman Jr. knock out Rolly Romero cleaner than Tank Davis, faster than Tank Davis, harder than Tank Davis? That right there will get some fanfare. That right there might be interesting. Let us know what you think. Devin Haney, Rolly Romero, or winner of Barrios Pacquiao. All the good options, though. All the good options. And if you're just tuning in, rocking out early this morning, man, we rocking out. We don't usually do morning shows, by the way. Usually moving and grooving early, but we got our coffee. We usually handling business, but it's Juneteenth. And we had us a good morning of boxing from the likes of Mr. Brian Norman Jr. It's your boy Casual rocking out with you for the Silent 8 podcast, man. Hit that like button. It's free. Comment below if you got the time. Hit the poll if you got the time. But more importantly, subscribe, man. We appreciate that love, man. We're going quick, fast, man. We appreciate all the support we've been getting. One of the fastest growing small channels for boxing. This is what we do. This is what we love. We love it's a hobby, man. We appreciate y'all rocking out early this morning with us. We're going to try to do more live shows. But in the meantime, we got plenty of videos for you, breakdowns, 3-minute fight drills, predictions. And our predictions be pretty on point, by the way. We be getting to that bag. You name it, we do it. We banging it out for a small channel, man. Appreciate that love. Let's get back to it. Juneteenth, man, 2025. Peace, love, happiness, support, freedom. We saw a good, interesting morning and night of boxing. Shout out to Japan fighters. They showed out. It was a good card. Shout out to ESPN, ESPN Plus. We know they're done at the end of July, at least with Top Rank. Good morning of boxing. Mr. Brian Norman Jr. Again, if you're just tuning in, Mr. Brian Norman Jr. got him a 5th round knockout stoppage, not a TKO. Clean knockout, check left hook, bat left hook, you name it. Put Mr. Saski out. He did have to be carried on a stretcher. We'll try to pay attention to news, make sure Mr. Saski is okay. He did wave on his way out, so he is at least cognizant, but you never know in the sport of boxing what happens. So again, let's make sure that brother's okay because he did show up and showed out for this fight. He brought a good, entertaining fight to the fans out there in Japan and for all that tuned in this morning and watched. That's how you're supposed to fight. That's how you go to sport of boxing. That's what it's meant by boxing. Be yourself, fight smart, but more importantly, fight. Throw hands, do some punching. Salute to them, man. It was a good early morning scrap. Good morning of boxing. We hope Brian Norman Jr. can continue to grow his name, continue to grow the sport, continue to grow 147-pound, even though it's limited right now. A lot of names have moved up to the 154-pound division, as we already described. You know, plenty of names up there. You know, Sebastian Fundora, Jamel Charlo, Virgil Ortiz, obviously. Jerron Boots Ennis just moved up. We'll be doing that breakdown of Jerron Boots Ennis and what this means for him at 154 pounds, what his fight should be. How does he get his name remembered and grown? Lubin's still there. It's a fun 154-pound division, which has now depleted the 147 pounds. So there is limited options for Mr. Brian Norman Jr. But with this kind of knockout of the year contender right now, in my personal opinion, that we saw early this morning, Juneteenth 2025, he's got options. He can go ahead and unify, undispute the 147-pound division because at this point, with Boots Ennis gone, I don't see anybody on the level of Brian Norman Jr. No one even close. You know, Devin obviously is trying to make his bones at 147. He has that option. He has the skill set. I don't know if he has the chin. Because if he get caught with the hook that Brian was throwing tonight, and Brian's got skill set, he can box smart. He doesn't just depend on some power. Depend on throwing shots. He can box as well. Devin will be interesting. Skill set wise. Devin is fighting a lot smarter. He's moving around. Hopefully he gets back to his jab. Obviously, there's like a Barrios, but I'm sorry, not Barrios. There's the likes of Rolly Romero, who's moved up, hit the pole, hit the chat, who you like to see, but Rolly Romero's there. But Rolly can't see Brian. True 147-pounder, Rolly just getting up in there. That it'll be nasty. Stanionis, he comes to fight. It'll be an entertaining fight, good scrap right there, but already lost the likes of Boots. In the other top, man, who else is left at 147? Because I know I'm missing somebody. Just clean up Jin Sasaki. Jin was a top 10. I think he was ranked number 7 ESPN. Top number 3 if you looked on BoxRec. Here's a Hail Mary. Teofimo Lopez. Somebody we didn't think about. Now, Teofimo Lopez is always trying to throw his name around, always talking, doing more talking than fighting. But maybe him and Brian can get it on. He called out Boots, right? Boots was always an option for Teo. Why not Brian? Why not Brian and Teo? That'll be a bigger name than some of the other fighters that's still at 147. No disrespect. I know we got some, good fighters. They're just not known. I'm trying to get the name fighters for Brian. It's time for him to grow that brand, grow where he's at. Keep him going. Keep growing him in the sport of boxing. Get that name remembered, because the skill set we saw tonight needs to be remembered. The punching that we saw tonight needs to be remembered. The fighter we saw tonight in Brian Norman Jr., that's the fighter who needs to be remembered for 147 pounds. A man that can fight and box at the same damn time. Hit that like button. It's free. Comment below if you got time. As always, subscribe, man. Got a few more minutes here. We're going to get ready to close this down in a second, and then we'll probably be back a little later this afternoon. We're going to be breaking down some videos, recording some things for the fights. Obviously, next week's 3-minute fight drills, 3-minute fight breakdowns, predictions, you name it. We already rocked out for the fight chat earlier this morning. Live take. Again, if you're just tuning in, Brian Norman Jr. got that victory. KO, not TKO, KO of the likes of Jin Sasaki. And more importantly, we'll be breaking down his next fights, his next breakdown. We'll probably do a standalone video on that. But we got the likes of Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder next week. We got the likes of Jake Paul, Julio Cesar Chavez. I'm more interested in the Floyd Schofield Tevin Farmer fight. That's going to be a good scrap that's on the undercard. But anyways, there's a lot of options out there. I'm looking at these names again from 147, man. I think at this point, it's either Devin. It's sad, too, because all these guys were 140 moving up. Devin, Rolly, Teo. Devin, Rolly, Teo. Winner of Barrios, Pac-Man. You know what I'm saying? That'll be a good scrap. I think the Barrios and Pac-Man winner will clearly be the more lucrative fight. Pay-per-view, obviously. Unification, belt on the line. Name recognition, you name it. I think he beats either one. Again, no disrespect. I think the Brian we saw tonight beats Barrios clean. If Barrios can get through Pac-Man, Norm will clean him up. Barrios is tailor-made for a fighter like Brian, who can box, punch, and hook now. Clean. Pac-Man is really just father time. That's a tough fight for him if he gets the likes of Brian Norman Jr. But it'll be good. It'll be good while it lasts. Somebody will be getting knocked out. Devin, skill set. But, man, I just need Devin to make sure the fight is interesting. He's a big boy. Him and Norman are pretty much the same size. And it's crazy to say that Devin moving up from 140 to 147 and them being the same size. In fact, Devin might even be slightly a little bit bigger than Norman, to be frankly honest. But Devin had to make sure that fight's interesting. Rolly will come to fight, come to scrap. Teo will talk. But Teo has good ring IQ. As much as we say about Teofimo Lopez, and as much as a circus he creates, his skill set speaks for itself. The brother can box. He can box, man. And when he's tuned in for that fight and he sees it as a challenge, He just elevates his game, elevates his levels, man. And that would be a tough fight for Brian, not in the factor of power. Tio would nowhere near hurt him. It would be strictly a chess match, ring IQ, who's the better fighter, who's the better boxer that night. That's the options, man. Brian Norman Jr. Hey, we laid it out for him. I think I like these options. Chat says right now, Barrios Pac-Man winner should be the number one. That is probably the most lucrative, and it's got a belt. I can obviously see that being number one. But let's say that doesn't happen and PBC doesn't want to do business with Top Rank. Realistic options that's out there as Bill Haney already's been on the Boxing Voice. He's already been on obviously on Showbiz yesterday, going back and forth. But let's get back to the Boxing Voice interview. He strictly said they will give Brian Norman a fight. And it's crazy, right? Because Brian Norman's the champion at 147. But Devin Haney, let's be honest, is the bigger name. He said they'll make the fight with him and get it a payday. I think that's a very – the Haney's don't duck, man. I haven't seen a fight they haven't signed for. They have some fights that haven't pulled through, but I ain't seen a fight that they've signed, like they won't sign for. So it's very possible that Haney and Brian Norman Jr. actually get it on and get it signed for October, because that is the contract date for Haney's next fight is October, mid-October at that. That'll be a good fight for him. I would prefer it to be in the States, obviously. East Coast, we already covered that between Atlanta, New York, Philly, DC, Baltimore. Do it for the culture. Do it for those people to come out, support, and bring you a show and real entertainment value for those type of fighters. Rolly Romero, I probably like a little bit better than Devin Haney, only because I know Rolly's gonna come to swing. Either he's trying to knock you out or he's getting knocked out. And that's what we like to see, especially if you want to build casual fan base for Brian Norman Jr. And again, Tio, he's there. Name. Everybody knows him now, man. He's got some, his back and forth, his race baiting and foolery outside the ring. People know him, and people are probably rooting for Brian Norman Jr. to shut Teofimo Lopez up. And that'll probably be a very interesting, tense build-up to that fight based on the character that Teofimo Lopez has built for himself. Yeah, that's the options. Hit that like button. It's free, man. We really appreciate that love. Helps get eyes on the show. We're rocking out early this morning. We will be doing more live talks, live breakdowns. We obviously do. We do live fight chat. So stream before this, we did the full blow-by-blow, play-by-play action, live fight commentary, live scorecards for the likes of Brian Norman Jr., Jin Sasaki. We do this for all the major fights that we can at least get to. We appreciate that love, man. Hit that like button. Get eyes on the show. More importantly, if you got time, subscribe. We're going quick. We're going fast. And we really appreciate that love. Got a lot of breakdowns, a lot of content out there for you. 3-minute fight drills, breakdowns, keys to victory. We're going to get back to our casual flows. A casual flow is going to be more of imagery, right? So it'll be music, images of the fighters, whatever fight we're breaking down, and obviously the commentary to go with images. We're trying to get to the point where we do the video breakdowns. We used to do that. But man, YouTube be copywriting, and it's hard to find video content, good video content anyways, and it not get hit either with a strike, or even if you're obviously breaking it down for assessment, you got to go back and forth, argue with them. So we might get back to that if we can get a good rhythm, good template again for that. But anyways, we'll get back at least to the casual flows, image breakdowns, full commentary breakdowns of previous or future fights coming up. The first one will be Pacquiao Barrios and Dubois Usyk 2. Both of those happen in July. Man, we got plenty of video, plenty of content. And as I said, today we rocked out with the likes of Brian Norman Jr., Jin Sasaki, June 19th, 2025. We're starting it off right for the holiday. Nice knockout, man. It's your boy Kaz Real with Sane Podcast. Hit that like button, comment below, and subscribe if you got the time. Really appreciate that love. We'll probably rock out for a few more minutes here, and then we'll step out, take a break, and then we'll be back. We'll be dropping some more videos this afternoon, coverage from this fight. We'll do some more live updates. And then more importantly, check out, we got the Inoue breakdown as well. Inoue, real problem in boxing. And he is the problem in boxing. And check the video out to understand what we're talking about there. His challenge to all the other fighters out there, especially A-level fighters. And another person that we probably have to throw in there is the likes of Brian Norman Jr. He's another challenge to the A-level fighters out there. Check that video out, see what we're saying. But anyways, we'll got some things to break down, more videos to take. We'll probably come back live a little bit this afternoon. But anyways, we're rocking out for the rest of this morning for a little bit. Man, we appreciate y'all tuning in, man. New channel, young channel, and we're going quick, we're going fast, man. Really appreciate the love. Appreciate you for rocking out with us, man. Brian Norman Jr., stoppage 5th round. The way that you want it to get done, right? Like, that's the way that you really want your fighter to fight. That's the way you want things to happen for him, especially when you want to grow your name. What grows the sport of boxing is knockouts, hands getting thrown. We like to see the sweet science. Oh my goodness. We like to see the sweet science. Obviously, that's what boxing is built off of. But at the end of the day, we like to see some punching. We like to see some hands getting thrown. Brian Norman Jr. showed us that tonight. He showed you all these other fighters out here. This is how you fight. You come to fight, man. Just like Inoue, like we're just talking about. Inoue's a problem, right? Inoue the monster. He comes to do punching. He comes to fight. Turns no fade down. Turns no fade down. Warrior. Japataya, warrior. Turns no fade down. Fights, throws hand, and box clean. That's the real sweet science. People think it's just swim without getting wet. Hit without getting hit. That is important. But it's hit. Punch. Fight. Boxing is the martial art combat version sport of hands, right? We don't do feet. It's hands. So hands got to be thrown. If you're not throwing hands, then what you here for? What you here for? Not throwing hands. If you're not here to fight, if you're not here to do some punching, if you're not here to box, the art of boxing is art of throwing hands. It ain't the art of just moving. It's sweet science. Mix both. And that's why number one legendary fighters, the Hall of Fame fighters, are remembered because they did punching. Like we said earlier, we was breaking down a few fighters that just get remembered. Obviously, everybody knows Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali did some punching and some sweet science movement. Took a lot of punches on his way as well. Probably a little bit too much, but he did some punching. He did some fighting. He floated around. He moved around. He did punching while he was doing it. Mike Tyson, say what you want to say about him. Name will be remembered. Legend. Why? Because he did some punching. He did some fighting. He did boxing. Lived boxing. These guys, these legends, and let's talk about some current legends, right? Somebody saying we're probably talking about a little bit too older fighters, right? Current legend in the making, future Hall of Famer right now. Usyk, Alexander Usyk is a future Hall of Famer right now. Turns down no fade, does some punching, and boxes smart. Ain't the most powerful puncher, but he lets his hands go. Does some punching, does some fighting. A new way we just covered. Future Hall of Famer already, 2-time undisputed. Terrence Bud Crawford, future Hall of Famer, turns down no fade, does some punching. Not as active as we would like, but when he's fighting, he gets it done. Who else? Canelo Alvarez, future Hall of Famer, fights actively. Hasn't fought everybody that we wanted to see. I'm still mad about David Benavidez, Vendetta Roja, but he turns down no fade, he fights. David Benavidez, just speaking of future Hall of Famer, he stays on his track, does some punching, does some fighting. These names will get remembered. See, these are current fighters. Brian Norman Jr. He keeps fighting the way he fought tonight and takes on some big names. He will probably be a future Hall of Famer. It's early right now. He's got some names he's got to knock off, but this is the kind of fighting that you need to see. Do some fighting, do some punching, mix in the sweet science. These are current fighters right now. Current fighters right now that are just making their names known and growing the sport of boxing. You got to fight. And what Brian Norman Jr. showed tonight is how you grow your name in the sport of boxing, but more importantly, how you begin to cement your name in boxing history, if that makes sense. Brian's on his way. I liked how he fought. Check left hook. Got that man up out of there. More importantly, it's the way he got there, the way he fought. Entertainment value for the fight fans. Keep growing your name, keep growing your image, and stay active. You got to keep fighting 2 to 3 times a year. That's the other thing. Fighters not fighting 2 to 3. You got to fight minimum twice a year. And I understand there's some business behind the scenes, promotional companies messing some fighters around. But at a certain point, man, you got to take the onus on yourself. You are the boss. You are the business. You got to make sure these fights get done, signed, sealed, delivered. Sometimes you got to take a little risk, a little less money for certain things to make sure you get set up where you want to be. You stay active, because the more you're active, the more you're seen, the more eyeballs are on you, the better you can grow. Brian needs to stay active. I think this is his second fight this year already. Let's go ahead and get this other one. He didn't take much damage tonight. Fought beautifully. Fought well. Let's go get this October fight signed up. It's open. It's available. October, Devin Haney. October, Rolly Romero. It's probably a little bit too early for the winner between Barrios and Pac-Man, so they'll probably push that to Christmas time frame. But for the other 2 fighters that is available, Devin Haney, Rolly Romero, Teofimo, definitely available. Signed, sealed, delivered. Bill Haney said he'll already send him the contract. Get it done. Let's get this fight going. Stay active. Keep your name going. That's how you grow. Fans have limited memories. We forget. But what we won't forget is a knockout like this. We won't remember that. Especially if it gets blasted. You already know it's already hitting IG. You already know that's hitting IG. Matter of fact, we need to check out, make sure, let's go see if it is on there. You already know what's going on. Knockouts like that cement you in, keeps you going. But if you keep doing it, staying active so people can keep seeing you, not just these onesie twosies. That's the one thing that's killing me about Tank right now. Love me some Gervonta Tank Davis. But the brother is not active enough to keep his name growing. Not active enough, brother. Got to keep going. Got to keep fighting, keep knocking heads off, keep putting these boys on notice. That's the only problem with Tank right now. Hell of a fighter, hell of a warrior. Killing me. Terrence Buck Crawford was almost in that category because he's not as active, but at least when he does fight, it's for something. It's a big name. And say what you want to say about him and Canelo Alvarez getting it on. That's a hell of a challenge. It's a hell of a fight, man. I mean, went from Earl to Madrimov to Canelo, your last 3 fights. Not too many people can say that. Not too many people can understand what he's doing. But if he wasn't taking on this big fight, he would be in that same category because he's just not active enough. Hit that like button. It's free, man. Appreciate the love tonight. Appreciate the support. Comment as always. Hit that chat. It's still open. Hit the poll. It's still open. Who would you prefer? Devin Dream Haney, Marios Barrios, or the winner of Pac-Man Pacquiao for like some Brian Ullman Jr.? And again, if you're just tuning in, Brian got him a nice knockout. 5th round stoppage midway through. Check left hook. Finish the lights of Jin Sasaki. Fight of the year. I'm sorry, not fight of the year. Knockout of the year contender. Definitely a good fight, though. Probably top 15, 20 fight of the year. It was hands being thrown, but there's been a lot of good fights this year. A lot of good fights this year already. So I wouldn't put it in that category, especially with the skill set gap that was clearly displayed, but both fighters fought. It was entertaining. It was fun. Definitely one of the top 10, 15 fun fights of the year. That knockout was something real. Oh, man. Knockout was real. Hit that like button. It's free, man. Comment below if you got the time. We really appreciate that love. We'll probably go at the half-hour mark or so. Take us a break. Get the morning going. Get the fam going good. Man, we've been up since about 4 a.m. rocking out. So definitely appreciate the love that y'all give us tonight, man. Hit that like button. It's always free. Comment below if you got the time and subscribe. Again, we've already given the options for Brian Norman Jr. Hit the chat, hit the poll. Let us know what you think. Bigger fights coming up, right? Is Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder back? June 27th, 2025, Wichita, Kansas. We'll be tuned in live for that. We will do a live fight chat. Should be able to. We might be moving around. We're going to try to do live fight chat for that. Either way, if not, we'll come back and do a breakdown. Plan is to do the live fight talk, live fight chat, scorecard. Hopefully, won't need it for a Wilder fight, but we'll do the live scorecards just like we did tonight for or was doing for the Brian Norman Saski fight, and for every fight we do live fight card, live scorecards. In fact, let's show you what it looks like. When we do a scorecard, it's just a mock one. We do that like this was the Hitch and Camboso's template. We throw it up live, man, and we go blow by blow, tit for tat. We'll give you the ring. So 3rd round, 6th round, 9th round, 12th round if they have it. We display the fight card, keep it throughout the show as we go on. That way you can see, like, not too many channels actually score it live. They'll talk a lot of stuff like who they thought won, blah, 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 blah. No, we'll give it to you live and direct so you can see our scorecard as the fight's going, live fight chat, live commentary, so you can see how we're scoring it. So there is no confusion. There's no mix-up about how we got to the fight, got to the solution at the end. And then comparing it obviously to the either ESPN, DAZN, Amazon Prime, whoever the commentator, whoever the network brand is at that time. So that's how we get down with that. So we'll do the live scorecard. Hopefully you don't need it for the Deontay fight, but for the Jake Paul, Julio Cesar Chavez fight next week, may need it. Jake Paul considers himself a real boxer now. Haven't seen Chavez knocked out in a while, so we'll see how that goes. But more importantly, Floyd Schofield, Tevin Farmer on the undercard. That's the fight I'm waiting for. That's an interesting scrap. I want to see if Kid Austin's back. I want to see if he's got that dog back in him. He's always been a rough, rugged fighter, strong fighter, but took a hit in his image when he backed out for the licensed Corey Stevenson, bro. When you backed out from the licensed Corey Stevenson the way you did, in the hospital, pictures, you name it, mystery illness, nothing ever came out about what happened. And the same thing for Daniel Dubois too. No one's ever clarified what happened to him. Kid Austin took a hit in the image, man. I think all we do know him now for is the guy who ran away from Shakur Stevenson, ducked Shakur Stevenson. That's the image, right? Whether he was really sick or not, it's still perception is reality. It's the perception. And I'm interested to see him back because I really like the young fighter. I think his dad kind of messes him up a little bit, but I'm interested to see how him and Tevin go, especially Tevin. Tevin's a fighter, a warrior, another guy like Brian Norman Jr. without the power, a guy who can box smart and is not afraid to fight and comes to give the fans an entertaining fight. Tevin Farmer, man from Philly, is a true fighter, true warrior. I'm really interested to see how this goes. Throw no fighter away. I don't care how many losses you take. If you come fighting and be entertaining, I'm there to watch you. And hopefully the fans keep growing that way. Casuals, hardcores, you name it. Keep growing these fighters, bro. They win, lose, draw, grow. If they came to fight, that's more important. I don't care if you win and if you won and you was pity-patting and just moving around and barely engaging, I will never watch another one of your fights. If you lost 3-4 fights in a row, but every time you walked out, you gave it your all, you fought and the hands were being thrown and you gave a good show, you got knocked down, you knocked that person down, I will watch you 10 times over the guy who's undefeated. That's where the sport of boxing needs to get to. And shout out to Brian Norman Jr. for showing us how that gets done, how you can box smart, how you can press a fighter, and then more importantly, how you can be successful in the sport of boxing by doing some punching, doing some fighting. Yo, hit that like button. It's free. Hit that like button. It's free. Comment below if you got the time. And more importantly, subscribe, man. We really appreciate that love. Got a lot of people that's been subscribing this morning, this night, wherever you're at in the world. Help us grow. We're going quick and we're going fast. We're on the way to that 1,000 mark, right? Got plenty of videos, plenty of content, plenty of breakdown. If you got the time, we appreciate it. But if not, we also understand that because we're going to still rock. This is a thing for us. It's a hobby for us. And we appreciate that love. And we appreciate the sport of boxing. And more importantly, we appreciate guys like Brian Oman Jr., Jin Sasaki, for showing up, showing out, fighting, putting on an entertainment card, fight event, period, for the fans, especially when it's early like this for guys and people in the state. No matter where you're at, it's an international sport, worldwide sport. You got to put on a show for the fans. They're going to keep coming, keep paying, keep tuning in. You know, these things ain't free all the time, especially for the sport of boxing. Pay-per-views, even if it ain't a pay-per-view, you got the Zone subscription, pay for that. ESPN Plus, pay for that. That's going away though, because Top Rank's leaving. BLK Prime is up there. Shout out to BLK Prime. They're out there doing their thing. Pro Box is free for the most part, hit or miss on YouTube. So they're doing their thing. Shout out to Pro Box. We need to get back to that free stable, that free network, that free opportunity for boxing. We need to continue to grow that. The Zone, I don't mind the Zone because they got a good quality product as far as how the videos look, the breakdown goes. They're definitely showing out for the sport of boxing as far as quality of video, quality of entertainment, quality of show, especially when it's Turkey behind the scenes. But even without him, their stuff is good, clean. Amazon Prime is straight. Ain't nothing better than a PBC show, especially when they get the likes of, well, hell, they had Jimmy Limited on this one, but like Jimmy, whoever, Michael Buffer can come over sometimes, even though he's really messing with his own. That entertainment fare, that pay-per-view fare that comes with that. But let's keep growing the sport, man. Got to. This is the only way you do it. Fights like this. Brian Oman Jr., if you just tuned in again. 5th round, knockout stoppage. Beat Jin Sasaki. Knocked him out clean, knocked him out straight, knocked him out right. But fought well, fought like a champion. And so did Jin Sasaki. Never backed down, never surrendered, came in there to fight, kept putting hands on him, kept throwing, kept fighting. That's what you're supposed to do in the sport of boxing. If you want to continue to grow, man, got to fight, got to do some punching, baby. Got to do some punching. Options for Brian Oman Jr. before we get out of here. We're going to recap. Brian's got some options, right? He's got some options. Yeah, let's go ahead and pause this. Barrios Pacquiao winner, obviously. Sexy. Pay-per-view fight. Big name. If the legend wins, even bigger. You can beat the legend. Devin Dream Haney. October is the rumored time frame, available date, contract date for the likes of Devin Dream Haney. Devin, ducks no smoke, is willing to fight. Turn this the other way. Rolly Rolando Romero, a favorite out there for a lot of people. You know, it will be good while it lasts. It will be good while it lasts. Because Rolly Romero is going to come to punch. He's going to come to fight. He's going to come to knock you out, man. He's going to try to. He doesn't do a lot of running. Who's Crocker? Get a Parade Crocker next. Could be. Or maybe Matt Crawford. Rolly be an interesting fight. Then there's Teofimo. The build-up would be great. Teofimo's the bad guy now, right? The villain. The quote-unquote racist. Even though I see what he's doing. And he really should stop. Let's just be honest. He should stop. He's playing a little too much. And it's going to get him hurt. And not like physically hurt, but like his image is already being hurt. It's going to ruin your career, brother. Stop that. Let the skill set speak, because Teofimo can fight. Anyways, the build-up would be great. The villain versus the good guy story would be great. That'd be a good build-up. Teofimo obviously already called out the likes of Boots Ennis. No reason he can't fight Brian, right? The fight itself be a chess match. It may be interesting, but it might be the highest level of boxing IQ fight we'll have between the ones I just named. No disrespect, because Devin Dream Haney is a great fighter, great boxer. I don't see him engaging a lot in that fight. I see Teofimo engaging a little bit more, taking some risks, but not on the level that Jin Sasaki did tonight. Not like that. It'll be good back and forth. It'll be a battle of the jabs for sure, especially the stab jab that both of them have. The hook is in the favor of Brian Norman Jr. That skill set he's developed over these last few months, really over the last year, it's proven dividends for him. He's growing fast, and that hook is starting to become his signature. That'd be a good fight. It will go all 12. Rolly will get stopped. No disrespect. It'd be a good fight though. And then I think he beats, meaning Brian beats the winner, Pacquiao or Barrios. Skill set, youth, age factor, you name it. It's all in the favor of him, especially if Pacquiao wins. That's not a good fight for Pacquiao. It'll be a great fight for the fans because, you know, Pac-Man's going to show up, show out, man. He's going to show up, show out. He's a warrior. That's why he's another one, right? His name will always be remembered. Pac-Man Pacquiao name will always be remembered because why? He did some punching. He did some fighting. He never ducked. He fought who he could fight. Win, lose, or draw. And he comes to fight. So his name will always be remembered. He always does some punching, always doing some fighting. That's how you get your name remembered. Again, I can't say it enough. My analogy here is, have you ever watched the movie Troy? And Achilles looked down at that young kid who said he's scared to do whatever Achilles does. He's afraid, right? Achilles looked down at him and told him, that's why your name will never be remembered. Your name will never be remembered if you're scared. Your name will never be remembered if you don't go out and give your all and fight. Into the sport of boxing, while we're bringing this in, what Brian Norman Jr. showed you tonight, showed all the A-plus fighters, showed all the champions. You can't be afraid to travel across the world. You can't be afraid to fight. Even when you go across the world, yeah, box smart. I ain't saying go and be a rock and sock and robot. No, you box smart, you stick to the game plan, but you let your hands fly. And when it's time to fight, do some fighting, do some punching like he did tonight, because he got off his game plan. He did some fighting. He let Jin Sasaki know, you will not back me down. You will not overrun me. I am a fighter too. I can box. I clearly had the better boxing IQ, the boxing skill set. That was clear from round number 1 with the 2 knockdowns with the hook. But you're not going to come in and think you're going to rough me up, because I will fight. He's got that dog in him. Shout out to Brian Norman Jr., man. Showed his ass today. Juneteenth showed his ass today. Good on him. Salute to that man. Salute to that warrior. That is how your name gets remembered. When you fight and you bring the war in the sport of boxing. Don't duck no fade. Don't back down from nobody. And when you finally get in the ring, you bring the best that you can bring. Win, lose, or draw. Stop worrying about the losses. Worry about the bag. Worry about your legacy. Put on a fight. Put the fight on. Put the fight on. When you're in that ring, sign the contract, put the fight on. That's what Brian Norman Jr. showed tonight. Put the fight on. Bring the fight fans with you. The only way you bring them with you is when you're entertaining like he did. 5th round, knockout stoppage, check left hook, knock Jin out. That's what the fight fans want to see. Hopefully Jin is okay. Again, he had to be stretched out. But to the point, it's the fight game. You come to fight. You come to bring war. You come to let hands get thrown. Knockouts build your character. Knockouts get your name known. If you want your name to be known, do not fear losing. Do not fear the O. Come in prepared. Come in smart. Show your skill set and fight. And the challenge to the boxing fans, us, those who tune in, those who watch, again, hit that like button. Is free. Helps us continue to grow. Hit that like button. Is free. And if you can, subscribe. For us, as fight fans, again, subscribe if you got the time. We also got to make sure we push those fighters who come to fight, the real fighters. Push those fighters who come to fight. Push those who challenge themselves. Push those up. Promote them. Win, lose, or draw. If they lost, that's okay. You get knocked out, that's okay. That happens. A lot of us get knocked out in life, not physically all the time. Sometimes we get knocked out at work from things bringing us down. You're not always on your A game, but guess what? You showed up, you showed out, you tried. As long as you showed up and tried, that's the most important thing. That's why the person at work at sometimes gets promoted quicker than others. even if others see their failures. Why? Because the job, the work, the environment, at least a good place, recognizes your worth, recognizes the effort, recognizes this person came to bring it every day and also has the skill set. Not the guy who has a skill set that sits there. He might be a genius off in the corner. They might be the best worker. They might be the best electrician, technician, plumber, you name it, on the side. But if you lazy and got no work ethic, you ain't never going to get promoted. You're never going to get your name growing. You'll never get to the bag. Laziness makes cowards of all men. Fear makes cowards of all men. Excuses makes cowards of all men. Make sure you show up, show out. Let's promote these fighters. Let's promote these warriors. Shout out to Brian Norman Jr. He showed up. He showed out. He delivered. Juneteenth, 2025. Salute to all y'all in this holiday, on this federal holiday, this good holiday. It's always been a holiday even before it was a federal holiday. Salute to all y'all, man. Peace, love, happiness, and freedom. Salute to everybody out there, no matter who you are. Salute to you. Salute to boxing, man. We're growing. We're going quick. We're going fast. If you have time, hit that like button. Put eyes on the show. More importantly, subscribe if you got the time, man. We're going fast. We've got a lot of content out there for you. A lot of live commentary. And we've got a lot of live videos, a lot of videos, breakdowns, 3-minute fight drills. You name it. Keys to victory. We got a lot of other keys to victory about to come out for the likes of Terrence Bud Crawford. Speaking of somebody else who wants to get his name remembered. Salute to that man. Taking on Canelo Alvarez, no matter what you think. Challenging himself. He wants his name remembered. Now, what I do need from the likes of Terrence Bud Crawford is make sure he gets in there and do some punching. Don't do no running. Don't do no William Skull. Don't do no Jermell Charlo. We've seen this too many times. In fact, if you can't do it, brother, you can't go in there and fight. I don't want to see another small fighter move up again for the likes of Canelo Alvarez. Get your name remembered. But he's challenged himself. Salute to that man. Salute to that warrior. But today's about Brian Norman Jr. Hit that like button. It's free. Subscribe if you got the time, man. Really appreciate that love. Before we get up out of here again, let's keep challenging these fighters. Let's keep challenging the growth. Let's keep challenging them to be the best they can be in boxing so that their names get remembered, so that in our time, this is 2025, so we're in the 2020s. Ain't this crazy, right? The 2020s. We can look back and see, you know, we talk about our Muhammad Ali's, our George Foreman's, may both of them rest in peace, our Lennox Lewis's, our Evander Holyfield's, our Mike Tyson's. This is today's age. We need our legends to be growing, and they're growing now. We got some already. You know, Floyd, obviously still kind of sticking around. Pacquiao bringing his name back out. We got those legends, but even with those legends that were early teens, 2000, I'm talking about these 2020 legends. Let's grow them. Let's grow the Anuways. Continue to grow that man, grow that warrior. Usyk still out there, growing as a legend. In the welterweight division, Brian Norman Jr., he may be the next thing. He may be the goods, but we got to keep pushing to make sure that he continues to grow and grow in the sport of boxing. You got the likes of Jerron Boots in and skill set wise. Got a lot of work to do. Let's grow that legend, grow that warrior, push him. Terrence Bud Crawford, legend in the making. Can he beat Canelo Alvarez? Let's see. Canelo Alvarez himself, already Hall of Famer, will be once he's retired, once he's done. Legend in the game. Fought some of the best. Hasn't fought everybody we wanted, but we can't be selfish. Errol the True Spence. Shout out to that man. Shout out to that warrior. He got set back with that accident, but to me, he's still potentially Hall of Famer. Can he come back? I hope so. Gervonta Tank Davis. We really got to push him because he is the goods. He has the skill set, has that knockout power that we like. Has that rededication to the sport now. He just needs to be active. We need him to be a future legend, future Hall of Famer. He's popular, definitely one of the faces of boxing, but being a face of boxing, being the most popular fighter in boxing at that time does not make you a legend, does not make you automatic Hall of Famer. He can be. He's got the skill set. We just got to make sure PBC and them are taking care of him and getting him active and getting him fights. And when he gets there, he fights now. But we got to make sure it's the right fights, right people, right names, and they're keeping him in there, keeping him busy. Shout out to Tank Davis. Salute to that man. Salute to that warrior. We want him to be a future legend, Hall of Famer. When he's done retired, we can look back. We're all, gray head and whatever. Look back, man. In our day, Tank Davis was knocking heads loose. Carmel Moulton coming up. Moses Tomo coming up. Richardson Hitchens moving. Abdullah Mason. I'll tell you right now, one of my favorite young fighters right now is Abdullah Mason. Reminds me very similar to what we saw tonight with Brian Norman Jr. Abdullah Mason, future Hall of Famer, future talent. Salute to that brother. That's the type of fighters we need of all backgrounds, no matter what country they're from. You need fighters like that, like Abdullah, who's going to step in the ring and fight, save the show, save the highlight, and fight whoever he's got to do. Ain't afraid to do some punching and ain't afraid to get caught. He's been knocked down, especially at this early stage. Why? Because he exchanges. Why? Because he throw punches. He still box smart. He just gets caught because he's not afraid to do some punching and not afraid to put on a fight for the fight fans. Salute to Brian Norman Jr. Good show, man. Good showing. Shout out to Jin Sasaki. Good showing for you as well. You came out and fought. Early morning. It's raining out this way. But hit that like button. It's free. Comment below if you have the time, and we appreciate that love. We appreciate that support. And as always, subscribe. Looking at the chat here, it looks like Barrios, Pac-Man winner, is the favorite right now between Devin Haney and Rolly as far as the next fight for Brian Norman Jr. So guess what? Let's push that. What's up, Matty Sports? Yeah, same, brother. I like to see that. I like to see, Norman Haney be a good fight, good build up. Haney don't duck no action. He don't duck no smoke at all. No smoke. Doesn't duck anything. Signs the contract. I just wanted to be the right Haney. Speaking of that, well, I said legends in the making, right? Legends are growing. Hall of Famer. Devin Dream Haney has the potential, to be a future Hall of Famer, future legend in the game himself. He's already undisputed, one of the youngest undisputed champions to ever do it, if not the youngest. We can argue about the weight, weight bullying and all that kind of stuff and things that's happened in his career. But the way that he fights, the way that he moves, the way that he signs contracts, the way that he gets in there, that's a guy that can be a potential legend in the game. Future Hall of Famer, especially if he keeps taking the fights that he's doing, and if he can show up, show out, fight clean, fight direct. The Jose Ramirez fight, don't ever do that again. That style of fight. Go back to the body work. Go back to the jab, that Devin Haney always showed. That right there could grow that young man into a future legend, future Hall of Fame fighter himself. Definitely agree with you, Matty. Sports, TV, Haney would be a good one. Right now, I also see Pacquiao Barrios winner as the favorite, the bigger fight. Definitely the bigger for name, clout, money, you name it. Probably be entertaining for sure. You already know Manny Pacquiao comes out to fight if he wins. Another warrior, already a legend, about to be Hall of Famer this year. I think he's about to get inducted or has already been inducted. So I can definitely see that. But again, the challenge to us, the challenge to the fight fans, the challenge to the sport of boxing, seeing a guy like Brian Norman Jr., these are the type of fighters you want to continue to grow in the sport, grow their name, grow them, because that's the type of fighters we need to be the ambassadors of boxing. Hey, Shook. Okay, I'll get you one. All right, that's my cue to start getting ready to shut this thing down, get ready. Fam is up and about, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking out with us early this morning. Looks like Devin Dream Haney's moving up that 40%. So it might be a good tie there between the Barrios Pac-Man winner and Devin and Dream Haney. I do believe Devin and Dream Haney and Brian Norman Jr. is the more realistic fight, meaning the one that's most likely to happen, most likely to get signed, because Devin doesn't back down from no man. But with that said, Let me get up out of here. We appreciate the love. We appreciate the support. It's your boys, Catch Rep with the Sign A Podcast. Hit that like button, comment below. And as always, subscribe if you got the time. Even better call, looks like my video probably just shut down. It's all good. Hit that like button, comment below, and as always, subscribe. Before we get up out of here, we're going to play our breakdown of the Tevin Farmer and Floyd Schofield fight, if it plays. If not, we'll come back later and get you back on. It's your boy, Kaz Rubber Sunday Podcast. Hit that like button, comment below, and always subscribe. Subscribe if you got the time. We appreciate the growth. Subscribe if you want to see other videos, live content, live chats. We appreciate you rocking out this morning. Again, it's your boy, Kaz Rubber Sunday Podcast. Till the next time, peace.
I see you started talking, Tevin. You started talking. But one thing you done messed up now, brother. Thank you. You gave him that fire. Thank you. Go finish baking your bread. We see you June 28th, man. Go ahead.
Yo, it's your boy Casual Rail with the Silent A Podcast. And man, we're back with another one. And a quick one at that. Hit that like button. Helps us get eyes on the show and continue to grow. And more importantly, continue to subscribe if you got that time, man. We really appreciate that love. For this, let's get straight into it. It's almost that time. Can Floyd Schofield knock out the likes of Tevin Farmer? Now, you heard his father, saying that Tevin has messed up, right? Saying that he should never brought his name out, should have never been talking down on the likes of Floyd Schofield, Mr. Kid Austin himself. And that now, it's personal, and Floyd Schofield is working to do some damage, do some punishment, and get Tevin up out of there and retire him the right way. Now, we all know about, Floyd Schofield's dad, Mr. Senior there. And he does a lot of talking, a lot of back and forth, just like Bill Haney, pumping up his son. And that's what you're supposed to do. And before we go any further, happy Father's Day. Salute to the real ones out there. Salute to those that are taking care of the kids. Salute to the real dads. Salute to the real men in the world. That's what you're supposed to do. Build up your son, right? Build him up, support him, promote him. But let's dig into it, because we've been seeing some training videos with the likes of Mr. Floyd Schofield, Kid Austin, and he's looking strong, looking real strong, looking real good. And to be honest, he was looking good before he pulled out the Stevenson fight, February 22nd, 2025. And we actually gave him a little bit of a shot in there to make that a rough tumble fight. We had Stevenson obviously winning by outboxing him with good technique. And swimming out, getting wet. That man is a defensive genius. But we understood the young man could make this a tough fight, a rough fight, and he's strong. So now we're heading into a guy like Tevin Farmer, who's got good defense and good head movement himself, but is not like the likes of Shakur Stevenson. And I think he will be getting hit, especially after we saw with the Zepeda fight. Tevin Farmer's a warrior. He don't back down from no man, even though he only has like 6-7 knockouts in his entire career. Minimum power. That brother swings in there. He stays in there like he's punching for real. Like he's George Foreman, man. Rest in peace. Like he's Ernie Shavers. Like he's Mike Tyson. Like he's Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Like he's Canelo Alvarez. Like he's Miguel Cotto. Like he's Bernard Hopkins. Like he's Roy Jones. I mean, that brother stays in the pocket swinging. Like he's got that real thudding power. And to be honest, he might have some respectable power. I mean, he obviously dropped the likes of Zepeda in their fights and gave a hell of a war back and forth. But if he fights like that against the likes of Floyd Schofield, the young man, the young, strong, I'm going to still consider this brother a prospect, lower rate contender, because he just hasn't made it up to the ranks yet, especially with pulling out the Shakur Stevenson fight, left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth. Still, this brother's got something to prove, and he's looking strong. He's looking healthy, and that's a young man, a young warrior who will prefer you to fight on the inside like you did against Zepeda, and could really put a hurting on you, because Zepeda was dropping some bombs on the inside, really doing some nice body work on Tevin Farmer, and that's actually what lost Tevin the fight. He was getting hit a little too clean, a little too hard. And don't get me wrong, Zepeda is a known puncher himself, but we kind of might have to question a little bit of his his power, because some of the shots he was landing there was clean, flush, and Tevin was rolling. He was hurt a little bit here and there, especially in the earlier rounds of that second of the rematch. But Floyd, that youth, that youth factor. Again, being Father's Day, I can tell you right now, the older you get, the less you can take on certain things. At least the recovery is less. But what Tevin might have to do is put belt to ass on that young man and let him know that he's still here and he's got that grown man strength. But don't play around too long with him. Don't take too many hits from that young man, that young warrior, that young brother, because I believe Floyd, based on what I'm seeing, based on the training, based on what I'm just looking at, he could break this man down. It will be early. It's got to be less than 5 rounds. I think I'm still questioning Floyd's stamina, even though he's a younger fighter. And seeing how Tevin was able to weather the storm as a Zapata and fight on the back foot and fight a little bit harder in those later rounds and save some of that energy he had. I think you got to be careful in the early rounds because Floyd could break you down. It's just that youth factor, man. It's that strength factor. Even though I don't think technically skill-wise, boxing level to boxing level, Tevin's got him in that category. He's definitely a clean boxer out of Philly. One of the top that's ever done it in the 135-pound division. It's just sometimes when you run into that brute strength, man, especially when it's that young brute strength who can move around a little bit and get up on you. And if you're going to fight him inside, like we already mentioned, it's a long night, brother. It's a long, long night. Either way, I'm interested in that fight. Obviously under the undercard of Jake Paul and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I think that's going to be a great night of boxing. I think it's going to be a great fight, and hopefully Floyd Schofield will be able to put on a performance to rebuild his name. If he can get a stoppage, yeah, I think he can get that stoppage. I think he can break Tevin down between rounds 5 and 6, maybe 7, with decent body shots. Got to be body shots, though. Don't headhunt. Tevin's got a nice chin. You got to start with that body first and wear him down, and then try to go for the head and the knockout. But you can really work him at the body and break him down. Zapata gave some of them keys in there. He just didn't press it hard enough. But yeah, the young man, the way he's working, the way he's looking, he might be too big for 135 already. Might need to go ahead and move on up. It's going to be a good fight as long as he shows up. Got to show up this time, brother. Let's rebuild your name. The way to do that is to get a knockout. And it can be done based on what I've been seeing. Likelihood, I hate to even say it's probably 50-50. It really depends on how he comes in there and fight, what kind of tactics he brings. But he does have some pop. He does have some power. He does have the age. He does have the youth. And more importantly, he's getting a man in that comes in there to fight. The fight, I believe, that you would prefer for him to see for the likes of Floyd Schofield to get a knockout. Either way, we talked way too long on this, man. Let us know what you think. Can Floyd get the knockout? Does he have the power? Does he have the ambition? Does he have that youth factor, that strength to actually get the likes of Tevin Farmer up out of there? Or will the veteran, I'm about to say young veteran, he is still young, but will the veteran prove to be too much? Anyways, hit that like button, comment below, and as always, subscribe, man. We appreciate that love. Until the next time. Peace. Yo. It's your boy Casserole Sunday Podcast. Once again, man, somehow our video shut down. So what you just saw was one of our videos, many of videos that we have out there that we do breakdowns, commentary for the likes of. That was actually Tevin Farmer, obviously, and the Floyd Schofield fight getting ready to come up soon. We appreciate y'all rocking out with us today. Until we can get the video back lined up, we'll be back. I don't know how it shut down, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But anyways, quick recap before we close this out for good for the stream, man. Appreciate everybody rocking out. Mario's Barrios Pac-Man winner should be the favorite for Brian Norman Jr. That's what the poll says. Obviously, in our opinion, I think Devin and Dream Haney and Brian Norman Jr. will be the most likely fight to go down. Salute to those men, salute to those warriors. But all in all, again, Brian Norman Jr. knockout, 5th round, check left hook, bad left hook against the likes of Jin Sasaki. Jin had to be carried out on a stretcher. He looked like he might be okay. He waved on his way out, but either way, salute to them, salute to that man, salute to that warrior for getting out there, showing it was an entertaining fight, good fight. And as always, man, Brian did his thing. He fought like a true warrior. He boxed smart. He showed all these other fighters how you can box and fight at the same time and put on a good show for the fight fans traveling overseas to Japan. Either way, man, our morning over here is just getting started. So we'll rock back in. We'll come back in a little bit later this afternoon, but we appreciate everybody rocking out this morning. It's 4 a.m. And hit that like button. It's free. Hit that like button. It's free. Comment below if you have the time. And we really appreciate that love and support. And more importantly, continue to subscribe, man. Really appreciate it. We're going quick and fast. We're on our path to 1,000. That's the first milestone, first step. And as always, this is live. So apologies for the video cutting out. We were getting ready to end anyway, so it is what it is. Probably letting us know it's time to end. But again, before we get up out of here, subscribe if you got the time. Small channel, growing quick. More importantly, let's keep pushing the likes of Brian Number Journeys. He got him a nice knockout and a nice showing in the sport of boxing. It's your boy Caswell with the Sunday Podcast. We'll be back on later. Check out our other videos or other breakdowns that we've got, like we just showed you with the likes of Tevin Farmer and Floyd Schofield. We'll have plenty of content, plenty more videos. We'll be dropping some more videos this afternoon and throughout the weekend. It's your boy Caswell with Sunday Podcast, and obviously we'll do a breakdown for this. But again, sorry. It's your boy Caswell with Sunday Podcast. Hit that like button, comment below, and subscribe if you got the time. Until the next time, peace.